Namaste. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Very warm welcome to everyone. We are back with another session of Weekend with Wisdom. This is Nitin Sridhar. Let me begin with a prayer. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदा विभागिने व्योमवत्व्याप्तदेहाय श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। श्री गणेशाय नमः। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. Once again, a very warm welcome to everyone. Today we have a very interesting, very important session on Indriya-nigrahaḥ as a Jnana Sadhana. And we have with us Acharyaa Revathi ji, who is joining us all the way from Rishikesh. Thank you, Acharya, for taking time for this session. We are very, very grateful to you for speaking on such a very important topic to all of our viewers. Mostly when we speak about Vedanta, we all think about, Manana, Shavana, Manana, Nididhyasa and all the practices. But more foundational than that are the Shamadhamadi, Indriya-nigrahaḥ and all. So I'm very glad that you would be highlighting on this very, very important topic. Before we proceed, just a brief introduction. Acharya Revathi ji has been an ardent student of Puja Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji since a very young age, starting with youth classes in 1970s and later Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad classes in Mumbai with Swami Shuddhabodhananda ji. She continued Vedanta study with Swami Paramarthananda ji in Chennai and later with Swami Satsvarupananda ji in Mumbai. She took up full-time Vedanta study with Swami Puja Swami Dayananda Saraswati, Swami Sadatmananda and Swami Shankarananda at Arsha Vidya Gurukulam, Anekatte in 2014. And continued with full-time Vedanta study with Swamini Brahma Prakashananda Saraswati ji at Arsha Vidyana Gurukulam in Nagpur from 2018 to 2020. After completing these courses, she continued advanced Vedanta studies with Swamini Brahma Prakashananda ji. Currently, Revathi ji teaches Vedanta and Samskrita online. She was based in Pune and currently she is in Rishikesh. Thank you again, Revathi ji, for making time. Please go ahead and start your session.
Thank you very much for a very nice introduction you have given of what I am. I will not spend too much time on other things. I will straight away start with my session. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Bandvatitam Gaganasudrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguణarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Parabrahmanishtam Swato Dharmanishtam Ahimsaikanishtam Swasishyai Sujushtam Yatinam Varishtam Gurunam Garishtam Dayananda Rupam Madacharya Mide. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Vidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Today's topic is Indriya-nigrahaḥ as a sadhana for Jnana. So, Jnanam, as we understand in Vedanta, is ātma-jñāna. Being Jnanam, it is gained through the pramana. Pramanam is Shastram, Vedanta Shastram, Vedanta Vakya. Any pramanam involves the use of the pramanam, of course, involves the knower and the instrument for knowing, the means for knowing. For Vedanta, the pramanam, Shastra pramanam with the Guru, of course, works only when the instrument, that is my antakarana, my mind, my buddhi, my indriyas. I assume that the words I'm using, buddhi, indriya, are all familiar to those who are listening. These become the instrument, the means. Unlike Vyavahara, your normal day-to-day transactions, for Vedanta to work, this inner equipment, my means of knowing, has to be prepared. It has to be made ready to receive and hold this jnanam, ātma-jñāna. This preparation can be looked at. There are many factors that are involved. So the factors that are required for preparing the mind can be looked at as Bahya and Antaranga Sadhana. So Indriya-nigraha will come under the Bahya Sadhana. So what is this Bahya Sadhana? It means it is not the direct means for jnanam. Direct means for jnanam is only the pramana, Shastra Vakya. It is Bahya because it prepares you for gaining this jnana. Prepares you to allow the pramanam to work. There are many factors which are called as the Bahya Sadhana. So if we look at the Yoga Shastra, Patanjali's Yoga Shastra, it lists 8 factors as the means for Siddhi. So we will take those same 8 factors. They are relevant for us as well. Yama, Niyama. Then you have Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara. So all these are the Bahya or Bahit Sadhana. And the Antaranga Sadhana, that which is immediately connected to the jnanam, will be the others, like Dhyana, Dharana, Samadhi, which deal with the mind. Pratyahara is what is listed in the Yoga Shastra, which will fit with our topic today, which is Indriya-nigraha. What is Pratyahara? It is defined as Swa-vishaya asamprayoge chittasya Swarupa Anukara Iva Indriyanam Pratyahara. So the main thing over here is the indriyas are withdrawn from the contact with their own objects. So that is from the point of view of the Yoga Shastra. Now, if we look at Bhagavad Gita, throughout the Bhagavad Gita, the Indriya-nigraha is given very great importance. The 13th chapter, it is listed as Jnanam. There are factors, there are what you call as values and practices which are listed as Jnanam, the 13th chapter. Amanitvamadam vitvam, ahimsa kshantirajyavam, acharyopasanam shaucham, stairyam ātma-jñāna, indriyartheshu vairagyam, anahankara evacha, janma mrityujara vyadi kadoshanudarshanam. So it goes on, 20 values. They are all listed over there. So we are going to look at a very important value, which is called ātma-jñāna and indriyartheshu vairagyam. They are connected. Ātma-jñāna and indriyartheshu vairagyam are connected. If you look at ātma-jñāna, there are two aspects of that. Ātma-jñāna, you can call it Shama and Dhamma. To understand what this Shama Dhamma is, we have to go to Gita. Bhagavad Gita is, what to say, is what we go to for anything and everything to understand in Vedanta. You get great clarity by looking at the Bhagavad Gita. We understand Nigraha. Generally, we understand it as control. But then, control of the mind is something that is almost impossible. The thoughts that come up, most of it is not willfully brought up. So many things just come up. The desires that are there, they just come. And this is very nicely said by Bhagavan Sri Krishna in this 3rd chapter of the Gita. It says, Sadrisham cheshtate swasyaha prakriter jnanavanapi prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. This, how does one control Nigraha? Why you can't control? Because it is natural. Having the mind go where it does, it is its nature. You can't really control. It is its svabhava. It is its svabhava. Just like the svabhava of fire is to burn, svabhava of water is to flow. The svabhava of the mind is to move. It also involves having desires, having fancies, So it is not a good idea to hold it, to suppress or try to suppress by force. So it is when you try to suppress, it will definitely push back. And that is not what we want. We don't want a mind which is having so much pressure inside. When you prevent the expression of the Svabhava, a lot of pressure is built, and the mind under pressure will not be a suitable instrument for ātma-jñāna. We want a relaxed mind. But that doesn't mean that I just let it go wild. I don't let it go wild. This is again said very nicely. You see, all over our Vedanta Shastra, this, any topic you take, you will find relevant, important things everywhere. Now, if this brings to mind when I say not wild, not running wild, not to allow my mind to run wild, I am reminded of the Kathopanishad, where there is an imagery of a ratham with horses. So there it is said, Indriya-nigrahaḥ ahuhu Vishayans teshu gocharan Atmendriya manoyuktam bhokta. It doesn't stop with the imagery. It says that the imagery gives us an idea as to how to have Nigraha, control over the working of the mind, over the working of the indriyas, over the working of the Buddhi, the manas, the indriyas. Because every part of that is represented in that imagery. The horses are compared to Indriya. Then the manaha, the working mind, is compared to the reins, pragraha. And the one who is controlling the indriyas, the horses, through the mind is the buddhi, the intellectual, the thinking person, the thinking function. What is the purpose of this? This yaha tu vijnanavan bhavati. Who is the vijnanavan? Sarati, the one who is controlling. Samanaskaha. His mind is also nicely resolved. Samanaskaha. A properly functioning mind that doesn't run wild. What is the use of it? So we should know why we are talking about Indriya-nigraha. Why? Sahatu tat padam apnoti yasmat bhuyo na jayate. So the whole point of this Indriya-nigraha or ātma-jñāna, which was told in the Bhagavad Gita, it's the same thing. Indriya-nigraha is part of it. What do you gain by that? Param apnoti. You attain the ultimate good, Shreyas, Moksha, from where there is no coming back. So this is very important for us. Why? You should know why you're doing something. What is it you want to achieve? Since this is the case, then we should know what makes our mind, what makes our indriyas not be under control. What is it that takes it away from going on the proper path? The horses have to go on the road in the direction that I want them to go on, not as they wish. It is ragadveshau. Indriyasya indriyartehe ragadveshau vyavastitau tayorna vashamagache tau hyasya paripantino. So what causes you to slip away, takes you away from your path? They are what? Raga Dvesha. Ragahacha Dveshacha. This Raga Dvesha, why does one person have one set of Raga Dvesha? Somebody has something else. Starting from what you eat, what you wear, how you stay, everything is dictated by my raga. Raga means a liking, and dvesha, a dislike. If you take food, and if you happen to come from the south like me, then I have a natural inclination. Say, if you ask me what breakfast you want, I'll say I want idli or upma. Whereas if you ask somebody from Delhi, they'll say, oh, I want parantha. Who will eat idli in the morning? And if you ask me, what is the best liked food? I'll say curd rice. Someone else will say, what? How can you eat curd and rice? So this is ragadvesha. It is not within your control. Your ragadvesha is not within your control. But what is in your control is whether you go along with it or you take your own decision as to how to go about it. Ragadvesha mostly has to do with our senses. What? Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. So my likes and dislikes, ragadvesha, is in the context of, is with reference to these sense objects. So sense objects, the senses do not perceive a particular object as an object. It sees it as what? Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. So my likes and dislikes are also with reference to these indriyarthaha. They are called indriyarthaha. Everyone has their own likes and dislikes. And that is what? That is natural. That is its prakriti. That is its swabhava. The problem with that is it tends to take you away from your path, take you away from your journey to your goal. So then how do I handle it? He says, tayoho. So Krishna gives you the means of how not to be controlled by ragadvesha. Tayoho vasham na agachet. So don't allow them to dictate your action. The indriyas bring in the indriyartha, the rupa, rasa, etc. It is not a problem. The indriyas bringing in the artha, indriyartha, is not a problem. It is their nature. You open your eyes, you get the perception of seeing, it's not a problem. When it becomes a problem is, I don't like that, or I like that. And therefore what? I am either going to go towards it, or I'm going to make sure it doesn't come in front of me. That is where the problem arises. You get obsessed with this reacting to the raga dvesha. How do you handle that? Don't allow them to dictate. Then what? I do what has to be done. I do what has to be done. How do we decide what has to be done? What is good? What is right? What is appropriate in the particular given situation? That is how I will conduct myself. The raga dveshas are there. I don't allow them. I don't allow them to carry away my decision-making freedom. My freedom to decide, to do what is right, cannot be taken away, cannot be made hostage by my raga dvesha. So now things are very clear. Things are very clear. Now the raga dvesha, he said, how do I recognize raga dvesha? So again, go back to Krishna. What does he say? Kama eshaha, krodha eshaha. What are they? They are mahashanaha, mahapapma. They are vairi. Enam vairinam vidhi. May you understand what that. Who is your enemy? Who is your enemy? Who is ambushing your free will? It is kamaha. Kamaha. Kamaha is what? The raga dvesha expresses itself as kamaha. A desire. An obsessive desire. See, having a like or a dislike doesn't really disturb. But when it starts dictating that this alone is to be done, this alone I want, then it becomes a problem. So that is called kamaha. So the kamaha is an overriding desire, which I cannot control. Therefore, he says, don't allow this. Don't allow this kama to carry you away. What should I do? I use my free will to not go along with it. That is called vairagyam. That is called vairagyam. So for Indriya-nigraha, vairagyam is the most important. Vairagyam is based on what? On my buddhi, my thinking faculty, my ability to judge right, wrong, appropriate, inappropriate. That which is dharma. I should not hurt somebody. So in this context of how do I choose the right action, we go back to yoga. Yama, niyama. Yama, niyama. Under yama, niyama, you will find all the values needed to make the right choice. So people think yoga is just asana. No. Yama, niyama. Asana is very small aspect. It is only what? Sukham sthiram asana. The Bhagavad Gita also same definition of asana, where you can sit comfortably for a long time. It of course involves other things, but the important aspect of this yoga, yama, niyama, pratyahara, which is in the Bhagavad Gita in the context of Vedanta as the Sadhana Chatushtaya, it comes as Shamadhama. Vairagya again is based on Viveka, thinking. If you think of the Kathopanishad, and in fact, even in the Bhagavad Gita, when I say Bhagavad Gita, the picture that comes to my mind is what? The Ratha with Arjuna and Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is a Sarathi, he's holding the reins. My Buddhi, which is centered on Bhagavan, is the one which is capable of having the discriminative faculty to choose the right action. What is dharma, what is adharma, what is right, what is wrong, what is appropriate, inappropriate. That Buddhi, which has got Ishvara Aradhana Vritti, is holding the reins. What? My Manaha, which in turn is controlling my indriyas, the horses. So with Krishna as the Sarathi and Arjuna as the Yajamana sitting in that chariot, definitely the horses will not run wild. My indriyas will not run wild. Coming back to how do I use this understanding to gain mastery over myself? Ātma-jñāna. When I say ātma-jñāna, Indriya is only one part of it. What are the other parts? Indriyani mano buddhihi asya adhishthanam uchyate. Etaihi vimohyat yeshaha jnanam avritya dehinam. So this is Bhagavad Gita again, 3rd chapter, 40th verse. What does it say? It says, I the person, the Yajamana of this Ratha, my Buddhi, my Sarathi, who is supposed to hold my Indriyas in rein. What happens? Doesn't have a clear understanding or clear vision. Mohayati. It is confused. Doesn't hold the rein tight. Why? Because of ragadvesha. Because of ragadvesha. What is that I which has to be controlled? First is Indriya. Indriyani, 5 of them. Manaha, Buddhihi. When I use my discriminative faculty to look at what is to be done, what is not to be done, is it necessary, how it is to be done, based on what input I get from the indriyas, that is called shamaha. When I don't act instinctively based on my perception brought in by my indriyas, that is shamaha. Damaha is, even though there is a possibility for me to go after something, I pull back. I say, no, I will not do it. That is called damaha. So I went for lunch. I liked the sweet that they served, nice gulab jamun. I had one. Why not have the second? Then I say no. When I say no, then that is damaha. So both are involved in nigraha. The indriya, when I say it is not just my sense organs, jnana indriya and karma indriya, it also involves my manaha and buddhi. Without that, the indriya-nigraha cannot work. And this ātma-jñāna involving the indriya, the manaha and buddhi will work only when there is Ishvara Aradhana buddhi. My attitude of surrendering my free will to Ishvara. What does it mean? What is Ishvara? So Ishvara is available as dharma. Ishvara is available as dharma. Ishvara is available as compassion. Ishvara is available as empathy. Ishvara is available as my sense of duty, what has to be done. Ishvara is also available in my recognition of the, what you call as the order, the physical order, the psychological order, the order of dharma. Without that, it doesn't work. Absolute Nigraha, ātma-jñāna, is only when there is jnana, jnana-nishtha. Till such time, Ishvara-arpana buddhi, Ishvara aradhana, the attitude of worshipping Ishvara through my actions has to be the foremost attitude, which is going to help me gain mastery over the ways of my sense organs, what they do, where they go, when they go, how long they are. All this aspect is possible for me to have a mastery over it. Mastery of the indriyas involves mastery over the mind. Mastery of the mind involves mastery over the buddhi. So all these three together is called the adhishthanam. Adhisthana means the basis for my interaction with the world. This is the adhishthanam. Of course, the ultimate adhishthanam for everything is Atma. Therefore, when there is Atma-nishtha, ātma-jñāna-nishtha, then this Nigraha is natural. It is spontaneous. It becomes the Swabhava. Till such time, only Ishvara Aradhana is going to help me. My commitment to doing the right thing is the thing that is going to help me to have Nigraha, mastery over the Indriyas. Therefore, what? Again, Bhagavan says, Tasmat Tvam Indriyani Adau Niyamya Papmanam Prajahi Kenam Jnana Vijnana Nashanam. Shamadama is what I want. Shamadama is Indriya-nigraha. Shamadama is vitiated. They make you do something which should not be done. Therefore, they are called Papmanam Prajahahi. Praja means gain a control over them. How? By holding it. How do I hold it? By understanding the relationship between the Indriya, the Manaha, the Buddhi. So that is given again in the Bhagavad Gita. This Indriyani Parani Ahuhu. Indriyebhya Param Manaha. Manasastu para Buddhihi. Buddhehe paraha tu saha. As compared to the Indriya Vishaya, or if you take it, the physical body, your hands, legs, your physical body. As compared to that, my sense organs are superior. In what way? It's called Param. Param means it is subtler, more pervasive, inner. So this is the Indriyaha. Indriyaha are Paraha. Paraha to what? To the objects and to the physical objects. But the Indriyas don't function by themselves. They have to be enlivened by the Manaha, the mind. The one which can look at things. Is this okay? Is that okay? Is this the right way? Is that the right way? Looking at it from every angle. That is the function. That capacity is Paraha, is superior. It is capable of controlling the senses, whether it is the faculty of perception or your hands, legs, karmendriya or jnanendriya. This faculty of looking at the right and wrong, it is vitiated by what? Kamaha. Kama eshaha, krodha eshaha. They are what? They are the vairi. They are papmanaha. They make you do wrong things. Therefore, Krishna is saying what? Use your faculty of discrimination, because what? They are superior. They can control your indriyas. don't allow the kama and krodha to take a decision for you. Like Duryodhana. Very conveniently, he says what? Kenapi devena kritistupena yata niyojitsi tatata. So that is not how it is. What is that sitting there and asking him to do the wrong thing? Only kama and krodha. That is not how you will gain Nigraha, mastery. Why I want Nigraha over the Indriya, over the Indriya, Manaha, Buddhi? Because I need them to be available for ātma-jñāna. That should not be lost sight of. Okay, what about the Manaha? Manaha is just, okay, this is okay, that is okay, this is not right, that is not right. Who takes the final call? Who calls the shots? It is the Buddhi, the deciding, the decision-making faculty. This decision-making faculty is subtler. It is vyapakaha, pervasive. It is pratyak. It is the atma of the manaha. Therefore, this buddhi also has to be controlled, has to be mastered. You should be able to make the correct decision. That is where what comes? Ishwararpana buddhi. I do what has to be done. Why am I looking at it with this attitude? Because I am a mumukshu. I want to be free from the sense of limitation, sense of unfulfillment, sense of being small, helpless. And I have recognized that this can be achieved only through knowledge. Why? That which I am looking for, that is my svabhava. That is my reality. It is something that is already there with me. I am that which I am looking for. If I am already that which I am looking for, I need to only recognize it. For that, I need knowledge. For knowledge, I need a pramanam. That pramanam is Shastra. That Shastra pramanam, to work, I need a buddhi which is capable of receiving, appreciating, holding that jnana. And that is what I'm working for. So you don't lose sight of that. It is not just by force, I don't do. I will not. I will take bath in cold water. Why? Because I feel nice when I take warm water. I will not do it. I will control my urge. Did it help me in any way? If it allows me to have a space between what I want, what I like, and what I do, yes, it might be useful. So every time I take a decision that this is how I will be, I have to always check back. Is this going to help me? So the Indriya-nigraha or ātma-vinigraha, what is its basis? The basis is my mumukshutvam. It is a sadhanam for jnana prapti. It gives me the yogyata for jnana. It gives me the yogyata for learning. So in this manner, having understood what is the param to the buddhi. What is the param to the buddhi? Atma. Having understood that, I go about using the buddhi to master the mind, using the manaha to master the indriyas. Then, the next step is very easy. Indriyarteshu vairagyam. Once I have understood, then I have been habituated to doing certain things. I have been habituated to doing certain things. What is a habit? Habitually, that raga dvesha will take me to certain indriyarthas. So you have to have what? Indriyarteshu vairagyam. That indriyarteshu vairagyam is another aspect of your nigraha. One aspect is manaha and buddhi, where you have what is called as shama and dhamma. Shama mostly. When you talk about indriyarteshu vairagyam, not allowing, even if it is like a raga, which really is not disturbing. It is what you call as a non-compulsive desire. It's just a preference. Even then, I should have the power. My free will should have the ability to say no. My indriya, my ragadvesha should not decide that this is what I will do. I should decide. I should decide whether I will go after it or not go after it. This part of it is called indriyarteshu vairagyam. This vairagyam is something that we practice all the time. Those who have a value for moksha, they will always talk about vairagyam. The artha over here, indriyartha, artha is the object. Raga we saw, raga dvesha. Raga includes also dvesha. The raga dvesha not dictating to me is called viraga. Raga viraga. Tasya bhava. The meaning of viraga, when there is no raga, or when the raga, not when there is no raga, when the raga doesn't dictate terms to me, that is called vairagyam. This vairagyam translates itself into absence of a compelling drive, irresistible drive for possessions and pleasures. So when you say in terms of the indriyas, it can be either to gain some pleasurable sensation or to possess something. So in both both ways it can be seen. Raga is not just, oh, that is nice. I saw something. I saw a beautiful flower on the way. Oh, that is nice. It's not just like that. So to understand what is raga, we again go back to the Bhagavad Gita. Dhyayate vishayan pumsaha sangaha teshu pajayate. Sangat jhayate kamaha. So that is the kama. It is not just, oh, that is nice. It says, no, I have to have it. Without it, I cannot be happy. I need it. I must have it. That is the raga. It has got a force, a vegam, which will, if you don't channelize it, it will build up pressure in your mind. This is vairagyam. If you suppress, it will not give you vairagyam. It will only give you obsession. Then it becomes more passionate. You become more passionate. Then what is vairagyam? Vairagyam is based on understanding. Understanding, that's where we come to where? To the shama. See, they are all connected. It is like one bundle or like noodles. You take out one, everything else comes along with it. The raga is for what? Artha kama. Raga is for artha kama, means something that will give me a sense of well-being. It gives my ego a sense of security. Or it gives me pleasure, sukham. Understanding that that is not the cause for security or sukham is how you handle this raga. Analyzing that object, will it really give me what I want? So we come back to what? Viveka. So that's why I said it's all connected. But understanding this connection helps me to handle this aspect of what? Indriya-nigraha. Now, after all this, my understanding of what is Indriya-nigraha has now included what? It has included Viveka, Vairagya. And also what? Ishvara, Aradhana, Buddhi. If you go back to yoga, where Pratyahara is talked about, there it says that when you do not allow the indriyas to freely go towards the indriyarthaha based on the ragadvesha, then they settle, these indriyas, they settle into what? They settle into concurrence, or the what you call as the anurupa to whatever your mind and buddhi holds. Means what? If my mind and buddhi is centered on Ishvara, then the indriyas also will follow. They will follow the way set by the buddhi and manaha. my chittam. So it says chitta, says Svavishaya asamprayoge chittasya swarupa anukara iva indriyanam bhavati. So this is described as pratyahara in the Yoga Shastra. There, they say, what it says is, the nature of the mind, it follows. That is where our Ishvara Aradhana Buddhi is very important. If that is not there, then it is not sustainable. It will not give you the desired result. I want a Buddhi which is relaxed, which is free from all sorts of pressures, which is free from the pressure of Ragadvesha, which is free from the pressure of suppression, free from the pressure of control. That is possible only if the Buddhi has got what? Ishvara Aradhana. That is also part of the Yoga Shastra. It is part of the Niyama. You have to have the Ishvara Aradhana Buddhi. When this is there, then Tataha Param Avashya. Vashya. That Vashya means Nigraha. Indriyanam Vashya. So these Indriyas, 10 Indriyas, including the Manaha and Buddhi, they become very, very obedient, compliant tools. Very sharp, effective tools for gaining ātma-jñāna nishtha. This is covering all the things that I have wanted to talk about on this topic of Indriya-nigrahaḥ. Not much else to be talked about. With this, I would like to conclude my talk. Om.
Thank you, Revathi ji, for a very enlightening and reflective talk. Thank you very much. We would have a lot of food for thought on this. Viewers, if you have any questions related to the topic discussed by Revathi ji, please share in Q&A box. We'll wait for a few minutes if there are any questions. Revathi ji, I think among all the Shamadhamadi Shatka Sampatti, in your opinion, among all this Sadhana Chatushtayam and all, which element is perhaps the most difficult to master, or where should a beginner begin his journey as a focus? Which element should one focus more to cultivate, or is it that one has to focus on everything simultaneously?
From my perspective, as I see it, the thread which holds all the Shat Sampatti, all the Sadhana Chatushtaya together will be Ishvara Aradhana, which requires lot of Shraddha. So Shraddha and Ishvara Aradhana, when that is there, then wherever any other lack will be, you will be able to pull it together. This, of course, is is what I see it as. None of the, it is all not, like 1 + 2 + 3. It is not like that. It is all, you're one individual, you're one person. And different aspects, when you look at it from different aspects, then different things become the focus. So looking at it in that way, I, the individual, my relationship to the total will be the main thing on which I need to focus. Other things you have to work, but without this, nothing will work. So I think that is the most important.
And I have one final question, Revathi, before we conclude. When we speak about Indriya-nigraha on a daily basis, if we are to practice, I mean, we are living in a society where we are bombarded with sensory, how should I say, sensory stimulations. So,
Yes.
be it the internet, be it our day-to-day life, now within a click, you can order food, you can order clothes, you can order everything, books, everything, right? So there is lot of more avenues to indulge the indriyas. And that watching the reels and all is a very common example.
Correct,
So
correct.
and the hours will go by and we don't realize. So are there how do you see some very practical tips, easy tips that everyday life people can consciously involve to develop Indriya-nigraha over a period of time?
That is to have a set routine, everyday routine which involves your when you get up, what you do, the daily routine, that every day you spend time on prayer, every day you spend time on meditation, every day you spend time on exercise, every day you spend time on study. And also what you will eat. So I will eat only this, I will eat only this much, I will eat only at this time. At this time, I will do only this. So having a disciplined life, there is no shortcut for that. Having a disciplined life, a daily routine, what you call as a nitya achara, where our traditional way of living was very useful. Why? Because it gave you a set routine, and within that set routine, you had the freedom to move around here and there. But there is a structure to your day, so there is no shortcut. You have to have a structured, disciplined life, and that discipline, commitment to the discipline will again come when you are committed to this mumukshutvam. So again, it comes to mumukshutvam. That Indriya-nigraha will work only if there is mumukshutvam. Otherwise, where is the motivation for you to discipline? You must have a goal. We find that not just a mumukshu, anyone who is committed to a goal will be able to live a disciplined life. Somebody who's committed to health, even if you give them a sweet they like, they will not eat. They say, no, I will not eat carbs. I will not eat sugar. So even those who are committed to good health will not do it. Someone who's committed to good health through exercise, they will get up at 6 and go for a run. So what is needed is recognizing that this is my goal and my commitment to it. And based on that, you make a daily routine and stick to it. Anyone who has to achieve anything in any field is the same. Only thing, what type of discipline you need is different. So for a mumukshu, the discipline my Shastra gives me, what is needed. So based on that, I make my daily schedule.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Revathi.
Yeah, going and living in ashram for a camp or for a short stay if you can't go for a long time, is also very helpful. It helps you to set the routine, because like now I'm here in the ashram, there is a routine. The puja starts at 5 a.m. That means if I have to be there, then I have to get up and be ready before that. I have to do my own things before that. So I have to, my whole routine gets set. Breakfast is served at a particular time. Only that sort of breakfast is given. So you don't have much spare time for wasting. And once you set your routine, then following what is already set is easier. So it is a good idea to go for a spiritual camp.
Thank you very much, Revathi. Thank you for a wonderful session, wonderful insights. We look forward to more such sessions from you. Viewers, please don't forget to follow us on Facebook and X and also Instagram. We post updates about our upcoming programs there. With this, we conclude the session. Thank you, everyone. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.